Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. This is our last speaker presentation in our series of Aging Well in Teton Valley. A very important presentation that the Senior Center created this year, and we're ending on an incredible topic of the remembering well as we age and the power that we can give ourselves now to enjoy our brain and our memory to enjoy the rest of our lives. So tonight we have invited Miss Jody Cornelison. I forgot her last name right. Jody is a regional manager of Eastern Idaho's facilities and educating all of us about this important topic from the Alzheimer Association. So let's give Jody a nice warm welcome.
Can you hear me okay, first of all?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so this will be good. I don't have to get the mic. Those of you at the back? Okay, great. I don't want to have a mic. My mom is here tonight, and she was always telling me to stop laughing and stop talking loud. And now, I get to do it for a living. So that's good, right? I live in Ryrie, so I'm not too far away. And I have been working for the Alzheimer's in this role for 2 years. I've been part of the Alzheimer's Association for 10 in one capacity or another. I started off in a fundraising role 10 years ago, left but stayed on as a volunteer community educator. Fancy. If anybody wants to know more about that, I will happily tell you about it. And then I came back as a regional outreach manager. I am part of the Greater Idaho chapter of the Alzheimer's Association, which if you look at my business card, it says Boise on it. I go over there for work like twice a year. Me. I do all the rest of my meetings with my supervisors online, so that's great. I work from home, and my job as a regional outreach manager is to let all of you know about Alzheimer's disease and other dementias, what resources are around that we provide, some resources that other entities provide, and really talk about this, have a conversation, right? So how many of you know of someone, or maybe you know of someone that's had Alzheimer's disease or another type of dementia? Okay, look around, leave your hands up, look around the room. Right? Okay, this is a big topic. This is important. And what happens is we don't talk about it. We are not talking about it still. It's kind of like how cancer was when that was first coming around. People don't want to talk about it. And they especially don't want to talk about something where their memory is declining. It's kind of scary. And then you stay away from your friends more. You're not socializing. You're not staying out there. We want to change that conversation. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm also going to be, believe it or not, talking to you a little bit about research. Snore. Just joking. Let's make it exciting. I'll do my best, okay? I'll try to take questions as we go, but also with the time constraints, you know, if I say, hey, let's take this one, come see me afterwards, that'll work too. Okay, does that sound good? Everybody on board with that? All right. Well, first of all, who has ever heard of the Alzheimer's Association? This didn't used to happen, by the way. Like one hand. So that's good. Maybe I'm doing my job right. Who's ever heard of the walked-in Alzheimer's? The walked-in Alzheimer's? There's one in Idaho Falls and Pocatello. That's the same. We're the same. That's our major fundraising event. A lot of people don't put that together. We're also kind of known as the purple people. See the theme here? Yeah. So tonight, I want to tell you that it is so exciting right now be on the era of treatment. That's what we get to say. I get little blurbs they say, you got to say this. That's what I say. The era of treatment is pretty exciting because 10 years ago when I started with the association, I didn't get to talk about much of any of this. I didn't get to talk about brain health. I didn't get to have these positive, exciting discussions because they weren't around. The funding for research wasn't around. So it's very exciting, and we're gonna get into some of that. Now I understand that some of you have been attending this series, and I wanna say back in the first part of the year, did you guys talk about brain health, and who was here for that? Okay, so I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more tonight, really drill it home, just in case you didn't get enough of it. Right, with some new research.
Or forgot.
Or forgot, yes. Sometimes that happens. This is our 2025 Alzheimer's disease facts and figures. This is for, this is nationwide. There are over 7 million Americans living with Alzheimer's disease. That's a lot. We just saw everyone's hands go up in here, so we know it's important. One of the things I like to point out is that it kills more than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. So it's important, and we want to help people get through this and keep their brains healthy and just talk about it more. So, okay, national numbers. Who cares about that? I know you care, but maybe you want to know about Idaho. There are nearly 30,000 Idahoans aged 65 and older living with Alzheimer's disease. That number does not include anyone who's been diagnosed with early onset, so under 65, and it's also only Alzheimer's disease. Doesn't include the other types of dementia. That number is likely higher. Also important is our number of caregivers. 73,000 Idahoans are unpaid caregivers. Unpaid means family and friends. And these family and friends haven't been trained to be caregivers. It's hard. Is anyone, if you're comfortable, if you've ever been a caregiver or currently are, raise your hand. Only if you feel comfortable. Yeah. Okay, so for those that raised your hand, you see this side of the chart here. Chronic diseases, depression, they are higher and more relevant in caregivers who are caregiving for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia. I didn't mention this, but I will really quickly. The Alzheimer's Association's name up here, a lot of people say, well, what about Lewy body? Or what about vascular dementia? Our full name, if you look us up in the IRS, is the Alzheimer's and Other Dementias Association. It just looks better like this. Okay? So when I'm talking about some of the research, yes, some of it's Alzheimer's specific, but also there's some research behind other types of dementia. So here we are. Our vision is a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. And we work on accelerating global research, driving risk reduction, early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. We are the #1 nonprofit funders of research in the world. We are #3 behind the US and China. So we are driving some really important research. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, some exciting stuff. One moment. Just 1 second. Some of my slides, by the way, are new, so I had to bring notes tonight. I'll try not to cheat too much. We gotta use notes, right, when we get older a little bit more. Okay, any questions about this? Any other facts you wanna know? Okay, well here we go, moving on. Who here knows the difference or understands the relationship between Alzheimer's and dementia? Or who doesn't know? Say, oh man, I don't know. It's the #1 question I get. #1. Think about it like this. Dementia is the umbrella term for loss of memory and other thinking abilities that affect dementia is Alzheimer's disease, vascular, Lewy body. What they're seeing now is mixed dementia, so you might see vascular dementia with Alzheimer's disease. And the reason why you hear about Alzheimer's disease so much is because it's 60 to 80% of all dementia. That's why we hear so much about it. So Alzheimer's disease is always dementia, but dementia is not always Alzheimer's. Did you know a UTI can cause cognitive loss? Would that be considered a dementia maybe? That one's curable, right? Get a UTI, get some laughing over here. Some cognitive decline on that? Yeah. So we want to make sure we're seeing our doctors. And I know sometimes we, especially for all you folks, need to travel a little bit for that, but definitely make that a priority so you can find out if anything else is going on. And hopefully it's not one of these. Does anybody have questions about these types of dementia or what I just said? Clear as mud, right? You're all smarter.
Are you gonna go through those just briefly and, other than Alzheimer's?
Do you want me to? Who wants that?
I do.
I knew it.
I can stop in later.
Okay, I'm gonna be quick. I'll go over the main ones. I have to cheat. Don't judge. All right. Don't have my glasses on, so I'll be doing this bit. Okay, we will start with vascular dementia. It is, let's see, impaired judgment or ability to make decisions. The brain imaging often detects blood vessel problems. You might see this after a stroke. Brain injuries like microscopic bleeding and blood vessel blockage. Riveting.
You could also see vascular dementia in people that have high blood pressure and don't control it.
Yes.
Start their meds, stop their meds.
And we are gonna talk about that a little bit. And you are absolutely right. Is there medical people in here? Oh, man, you're gonna catch me out. I better say, I am not a medical doctor, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I'm not. So if there's something I don't know, I will let you know where you can find that information. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
I better be honest, I feel like you guys will get me, so. Okay, Lewy bodies, sometimes that aggression you'll hear about can be associated with it. Big words here. Alpha-synuclein also aggregates in the brains of people with Parkinson's disease. There's a lot of information here. So they get a little bit more complicated, so different things are going on with the brain. Parkinson's disease can also cause some cognitive loss or parts of Alzheimer's. Frontotemporal is changes in personality and behavior, so there's some symptom changes there. It's can be diagnosed more younger. There is.
May I ask, is it important to distinguish between Alzheimer's and dementia? Because
Yes.
what you're saying here sounds to me more like dementia.
Dementia is all of these.
I understand that too, but, so there's my question. Is it important to distinguish?
Yes, it is now specifically because there are new treatments that are specific to Alzheimer's disease. So yes, we want to make sure we're getting that diagnosis. Well, I'll keep moving along here. I have more information you can ask, but
I'll
you can
get
see
it later.
it's kind
I didn't mean to
of,
put you on the spot.
no, you're fine. I had it, I was ready. I have learned my lesson. Who were the ladies at the Fit and Fall? Yeah, wasn't it that came up and I didn't have the answer to that? You see me now? Because I talk about Alzheimer's disease so much, I don't always carry that, and most people don't ask. I knew you guys would be like, what is Alzheimer's specifically? It's a brain disease that causes problems with memory, thinking, and behavior, and they grow severe enough to interfere with daily tasks and eventually do cause death. It's progressive, the symptoms gradually worsen over time, and in the early stage it's mild, but eventually individuals will need round-the-clock care. At the end stages, you can no longer remember how to swallow,
Oh my gosh.
right? It's not fun, and anybody who's been through this knows that.
But that's not for everyone. That's a common symptom. But
That is a doesn't mean it will happen to everyone. Correct, yes. Don't want to scare you all, but yeah, it is part of it. It is ultimately fatal and there is no cure. My grandmother had Alzheimer's disease. She did not pass away from not being able to swallow, but she did die from this disease. I have an aunt currently living with Alzheimer's. That one's still a little tough for me. My mom's sister. Sorry. It's hard. So what does that mean for me? My risk factor goes up if I genetically have the genetics that are around that. I'm also a woman. 2/3 of America living with Alzheimer's are women.
Wow.
Well, dang it.
Yeah.
It's not looking good over here. These are our populations at higher risk. And we're still learning about why that is. And maybe it has to do with our brain health relation to our heart health. So that's all being looked into. Does anyone know what the highest risk factor is? Not my fit and fall ladies. What is it? Highest risk factor for Alzheimer's disease.
What? Falling.
Falling? Anybody else got any guesses? I got a couple. Lack of exercise. What else?
Lack of balance.
Lack of balance. Loneliness. Alcohol. I'm hearing some really good ones. Do you want to know what it is? Age. I know, I just blew your mind right there. And as I like to tell every group that I speak to, if someone could please figure out how to not age, that would be lovely. You can tell me about it first if you want. But in the meantime, we're going to discuss what we can do to protect our brain health. Who's seen the 10 warning signs? I know I put these on the tables. Did you guys talk about this in the last class? The 10 warning signs against normal aging. I think you did. So I'm not going to spend a bunch of time. But who in the room has ever lost anything?
Still looking for that.
I was like, if you don't raise your hand, you're a bunch of liars. It's okay to lose stuff, and we tend to do things like that a little bit more as we age because our brains are not as young as they once were. The difference is whether or not you can retrace your steps. So when I come in from the grocery store, I think I need to carry every bag of groceries possible. I do not want to go back outside in the cold, especially, to get more. So when I come in from my car, I always hang my keys up on the little key thing by the door. But when I'm carrying every bag of groceries I have and my keys on my pinky finger, that's not what happens. And then they get left on the counter, on the table, wherever. And the next morning I get up and go, oh, where are my keys? And then I go, oh yeah, that's right. I thought I needed to be He-Man and take every bag of groceries into the house. There's my keys right where I left them, not in their spot. The difference with your cause for concern is when you can't go back and look at that. You can't retrace your steps. That's just one of them. Maybe you're withdrawn from work or social activities. We see decreased poor judgment. Not everyone sees all of these, but these are the most common warning signs. And it's the key words here is that they impact daily life. Yes?
I have a question on the retracing steps. What if it's something that you lay down and it's not something that you're going to pick up every morning like your keys, and it's several days before you realize you don't? If you can't retrace your steps at that point, is that a problem?
Yeah. If it's happening all the time, maybe. If you're really worried about yourself, you need to see your doctor. And yes and no is the answer. I am really shy. I'm like, did you get that? I'm so shy. Look at my mom. Never in her life. And so I'm outgoing and I talk to people and I like to go do stuff. And what if all of a sudden I don't want to do those things anymore? That's a change in behavior for me personally. But if you're already like my husband, a quiet guy who doesn't go and do that. That's not a change in behavior for him. So it's really those changes in behaviors that you're looking at. Doesn't necessarily mean anything, but you do want to take note. Something's a little bit off. Vision changes, things like that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. It's usually difficulty completing familiar tasks. My mom and I were just talking about my grandmother. She could make homemade ice cream like you wouldn't believe. We always had it for 4th of July. Oh, so good. Well, grandma's ice cream, not so good at the end. Or before we knew. Stuff like that. Something she'd done her whole life that changed. And she just couldn't make it anymore.
Wow.
Same with her pies. Lacking sugar. It's the thing for pie, right? Okay, so why do we care about all of that? Well, we want to get early detection. And why do we want to do that? There's a couple of reasons. The most important is if we've been diagnosed early, you now have a chance to be involved in your plan. This is a very expensive disease, and it's so hard on caregivers because of the length of time. The average length of time I want to say is between 4 to 8 years, and as long as 20. So it's very long, it's very costly, and it's hard on folks. And caregivers often are the ones that pass away first. So we want to be planning, we want to get ahead of it. Even though it's scary, we want to get ahead of it. We also want to know what's going on because we do have some new approved treatments to may slow the decline. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. And they only really work in those early stages and not for everyone. And the side effects are a thing. So we'll go over that here in a sec. But it's important to know what's happening because better than that is that we can take care of our brains at any point in our lives, at any time. So if you know something's going on, you're probably going to be a little bit more motivated to take care of that heart health and get out and exercise and all that stuff that we're supposed to be doing. It's really good for our brains. See, did I miss anything? Okay. So a little bit about research here. I don't want to go too far in the weeds because again, I'm not a doctor. I do have some notes because I have some new slides. The association is constantly updating our research slides. They're usually pretty darn fresh, so I have some new ones. I think we all understand what research is and what the benefit is. Sometimes research it disproves things. Sometimes it just takes time and funding and all of that. So here's a little bit of a timeline about research with the Alzheimer's disease. In 1906, Alois Alzheimer's was the first one to make a description of the disease. And that's how we have Alzheimer's disease. Did anybody know that already? Look at your brains are flexing right now. So much information. You should be glad, right? You're all social setting. Oh, there's so many things happening right now. 1996, and I like to try to remember all this off the top of my head because then I feel like I'm exercising my brain. Yeah, sometimes not. 1996 to 2014, we're treating the cognitive symptoms with those kind of drugs. Anybody heard of any of those? Yeah? Those are fairly common. And those are treating symptoms like anxiety and sleeping and those types of things. And some help people, some don't. Some side effects choose not worth the taking of them. And then in 2021, the FDA approved 2 of these 3. The third one I think is just recently approved. And those are showing to slow the progression of Alzheimer's. That's exciting. Really exciting stuff. I was thrilled. But just like anything that's new, it's not easily accessible. They're mostly infusions. You need to get onto them when you've been diagnosed early. And it may not work. Everyone experiences this disease different, so it may not work. But, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Just I wanna add that there are not really, long-term clinical trial data available either.
Yes.
And that's, I mean, that, just for what that's worth.
And yes, it's exciting because it's new
Sure.
and we know we're gonna get further maybe,
Right.
but it's also comes with bad side effects and it may not be worth it, but it is exciting because we haven't been able to talk about it before. But absolutely, you're not wrong, yeah. I like to be able to talk about it because I think it says, hey, new things are happening. We don't have, let's get diagnosed, let's do what we can.
So,
It is hope, you're right, exactly. It gives me hope, that's for sure. So what do you guys know about clinical trials? What you've heard about them, just, somebody, shout out like, what do you think of when you think of a clinical trial? Mice? That's not what I've had before. You're right, yes, mice.
Depends on who sponsors it, depends on how many participants.
Yes.
Depends on the type of participants and what their symptoms are.
Any other thoughts on clinical trials, what comes to mind?
It's free.
Placebo, is it free? Is it free? Does it have a cost? What about, do you always think, oh, in person, I gotta go somewhere for a clinical trial, right? I know I did. Sorry, these are the new ones. I'm gonna point this out really quickly. One of the things with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias is there's not enough people participating in clinical trials. And there's not enough of a diverse population participating in clinical trials, including our rural communities. And so when you don't have that diverse rural people, urban people, our Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, all of that, if you don't have enough, then you're not getting a very good look at what's going on. I say that because we have, trial match. We've had trial match for a really long time. Sorry. I have these cards over on that table. They look like this. Trial match is a free, easy to use clinical studies matching service. So we're kind of a hub. We compile a bunch of people into our trial match hub, and then researchers come in and say, hey, we need these folks. And then we say, here's our group, and then you say whether or not you want to be in the trial. We're looking for healthy brains, mild cognitive impairment, everything across the board. That's what, you can sign up for trial match and do nothing else. And say, I was just kidding, I don't want to be a mouse. Right? The cool thing about this is, I signed up for this, a long time ago, and I'll get emails every now and again, and they'll say, hey, we have this study, you're the demographic I need, and it's all on an app on your phone, or I just need you to answer a questionnaire. So when I used to think of clinical trials, I used to think I gotta go somewhere and be a mouse. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. That was a great answer. I don't think I've ever had it before. I always think, we gotta go to the big city, we gotta go here, we gotta go there. That's not necessarily true. There are opportunities for all of you to contribute in some way. So think about it. That's my plug for Trial Match. It doesn't cost anything. So
Could we sign up tonight?
You can sign up right now. You can get online and sign right up. Alz.org/trial match. And I have some cards over there. So please join. It means you sign up, you get an email, it's the yes or no. There's no,
Mama better sign up.
you don't have to do a thing. But we'll take yes if you want to. I think it's fun. Some of them are kind of fun. Has anybody ever done one? You're shaking your head. Anybody? Done it? Okay. It'd be cool. It's not hard. Let me go back here real quick. Oh yeah, we talked a little bit about this. Okay, moving on. So we all deserve a life with the healthiest brain possible. I know you guys had your class earlier in the year. Who can tell me some things that you can do to keep your brains healthy? Exercise.
Get off your phone.
Socialize.
Eat well.
Eat well.
Learn language.
Mm-hmm.
Try new things.
Try new things, yep. All sleep.
Drink water?
Drink water. Sleep.
Live outside your comfort zone.
Sleep well.
Sleep well.
Sleep well. Yes.
And often.
Quality sleep. I'm gonna put my mom on the spot. Mom, when I did my presentation earlier today, what happened when I got in the car? What did I do? Did I deflate a bit?
She just went sideways.
Okay, that's over.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a physical, I mean, I'm moving around, but I'm not exercising, but I am definitely using my brain. And even though I do present frequently, I am tired when I'm done. So is that a physical movement or my brain? It's my brain. My brain is working and I go, yeah. Take that, Alzheimer's disease. Kick you down the road. Okay, we kind of touched on this earlier. Non-modifiable risk factors. Age, genetics, family history. We can't change those. Sorry to say. Again, I will pay $100 to somebody who knows how we don't age. $100. Just come and talk to me in secret and we'll talk about it. So if anybody's figured that out, great. But we can change some things. And I know you all learned about this already. These are what we call modifiable risk factors. All of this stuff here, everybody should have this at your table or a little card, I see. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about why these 10. Why does the Alzheimer's Association say these 10? Well, first we'll talk a little bit more about, I'm not going to go too crazy because I know a lot of you got this information already. What's good for your heart's good for your brain. Seems like a no-brainer. I'll be here all week. We want to control that blood pressure. Who was mentioning that over here? So here's what happened with blood pressure. There was about 5 or 6 years ago, there was a trial. I cannot off the top of my head think of that right now. The name of it. And what it did was looked at blood pressure and cognitive decline. And they had some people at kind of a lower blood pressure rate, but still managing it, but a lower dose, and then some being right where they need to be. The study and research was so significant, they stopped the trial. They said, we cannot, in good conscience, keep this trial going because it's so significant on cognitive decline. We need everyone that has high blood pressure to be where they need to be. That's how significant it was. So it's super important to make sure your blood pressure is good. Here's where I have to use my notes. 1 second. I want to tell you this, and I don't want to get it wrong. Because sometimes y'all leave here and go, oh, she said, and then I get in trouble. Just a second. See, I didn't need my notes, just for a couple things. This is one. Okay. What they're saying is your systolic blood pressure, the top number should be under 130. That's ideal.
Under 130?
Yes, for brain health. Anybody have something different? Does that sound right? I'm not a doctor.
I think that's a good guide, but you and your doctor really need to determine
Yes.
what your best range is.
And that's just like that average.
Sure. Yeah,
But just so you
that's right on.
Yeah. And then managing your diabetes, if
Well,
that
wait,
is-
what's the low number?
It doesn't tell me that, so I don't have an answer, but I would assume it's something like that, that you're looking at that with your doctor.
What was the question?
The lower number. You have to know. You said you know.
What's the lower?
Yeah, the other one.
And generally, I mean, I'm not
That's medical profession wanna jump in there? I'm not afraid. I'll tell you when I know. I didn't know that. Okay, we know we gotta do that. That's all stuff we know. Nothing surprising here. We know we need to exercise. Regular physical activity. Fit and fall. Awesome. Love it. Eat right. We know that too. I'm gonna go into some detail on our U.S. Pointer study that came out this summer. Talks a little bit more about this. Maintain a healthy weight, constant battle in my life, working on it. Oh yes, the all important sleeping well. Who in here sleeps well? No, you're only supposed to be like 2 of you that raise your hand. I need like a proportion. Okay, those of you who sleep well, what do you do when you sleep well? Just give me 1 or 2. Because I want to know. What's that? Cat. I'm going to put that in my little notes, because that's a new one too. Who else?
Do over 10,000 steps.
Do over 10. So you exercise, you get every night's sleep?
Sleeping well, does that equate with how much sleep you get? I sleep really well. I sleep
Yes.
really well. Don't wake up all night but I don't sleep very many hours. Does that make a difference?
Good point.
Yes.
Good question.
It's supposed to. Those that's a mixed answer on the amount. But napping counts.
Good.
So nap. You must. I think 8 hours a day is, or 8 hours a night is the 8 hours a day. But it changes with where you look for sleep. But we do want to be trying to get that. I know some people don't sleep, and they fine. So it is dependent on you and your body, but yeah, you need to be getting that solid sleep. How many of you function really well when you don't get any sleep? Yeah, you don't sleep, so you
I
just,
think I function.
so you're the exception.
I get like 4.5 to 6.
I would not function at that. So
I
it
would not
depends
either.
on, I just and then if I'm hungry, it's all bad. Who else wanted to mention a sleep habit they like?
Napping.
CPAP, yes. Napping, yes. How about your phones? Do you look at those at night before bed? Anyone? What? Oh no, I do. It's okay, me too. I'm trying to work on it. I do read on my Kindle. I feel like that's better. Whatever I gotta tell myself. You really need to be sleeping well. You've got to clean out those brains at night. It's not, yeah, there you go. Not as blue light. Yeah. That's my excuse. Okay, so work on your sleeping. Use your CPAP if you've got one.
What is that?
For sleep apnea. I call it the snore machine. My husband has one. I also sleep better now because he doesn't snore anymore, so it's great for me as well. What's the temperature of your room? Did you exercise? When did you exercise? Was it too late? Now you can't go to sleep. All of those things, if you can have good, what we call sleep hygiene. Very important. I spend time on that because I think it's extremely important. Those, especially when we're watching TV and we've got our phones, it's harder. Be smoke free. That's obvious. If you are still smoking, now's a good time to quit. Protect your head. Wear your helmets when you're bike riding. I know you all bike riders around here, right? Who? Yes? I know. Wasn't I harping on you to get your helmet, Mom? Yes. Because I didn't wear a helmet when I was a kid. That wasn't a thing. You were not cool if you wore a helmet as a kid.
They didn't even have them.
You wore a helmet and you were so much
Like
cool.
seatbelt.
Now it's cool to wear a helmet, yes. Stay in school and challenge your mind. Anybody here do daily puzzles? Keep their minds fresh? Okay, keep your hands up.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Daily puzzles. Okay, now leave your hands up if you do the same puzzle every day.
Say it
Stop that.
way.
Don't do that anymore. Change it up. You gotta exercise the brain. Make it hurt. I'm just kidding. That sounds bad, right? Make it hurt. You've got to challenge your mind. It's not about doing Sudoku every day. That's good. Do it. If you've never done it, you should do it. It's about strategy games. Play chess. Challenge your mind. Make it hard. Make it really hard. Well, not so hard that you can't do it, but do you see what I'm saying? Puzzles are great, but you gotta change it up. Does anybody have any mind challenges they do they want to share? No one? Writing a book for your kids. I love that. Now, have you ever written a book before?
Yes.
But not a children. So you're out of your comfort zone. Love that. Anybody learning a musical instrument? Yes? What are you learning?
Classical guitar, but it's not going very fast.
Well, I got a piano a couple years ago, and let me tell you, it's been like the best for about a year now. So I've been determined to go back to it. Yes?
Juggling is good.
Juggling. Now, why do you think juggling is so good? What do you think it is about that?
It's your brain and your body.
Yeah. And Fit and Fall, you guys do stuff where you're using your brain and the exercise, right?
Yeah.
Juggle.
And you juggle. I could never juggle. My dad can juggle. I tried really hard. So,
Do a lot of squats.
if you have an opportunity to take a class and go back to school, you're all in here right now learning. That's awesome. Keep that up. Keep doing those things. So you notice I didn't have socializing, and there's a couple others you guys had mentioned. That's okay. Those are still important. Why these 10? Why do we say these 10? Because currently these risk factors have the strongest levels of evidence. That's why we picked these 10. There are other risks to brain health that we kind of talked about. Hearing and vision loss, stress, air pollution is one. Those are all in there, but these ones are the strongest levels of evidence. And you can always go to alz.org, healthy habits, if you want to know more. Answer, maybe. Great.
Yeah, so when you're talking about exercise,
Mm-hmm.
are there like studies or is there a recommendation, like how much exercise would be fine? Because, you know, you get like 10-minute walk every day.
Yes.
Enough?
I'm about to talk about it right now. So the U.S. Pointer Study is a large-scale randomized controlled trial in the U.S. that the Alzheimer's Association funded. And it talks about diet, exercise, cognitive stimulation, and heart health, and it's been going on for 5 years across the nation. We got the top-line results this summer. And I'm going to share a little bit of that with you now. Let's see, is it this one? So here's your answer. The thing about the U.S. Pointer Study that's talking about these modifiable risk factors is that there's a recipe for it. So we can do those 10 things, but maybe you're only doing one of them. We want to do this. The participants that were in this trial were either self-guided or in a structured lifestyle program. What I mean by that is if they were in a structured program, they had a group they worked out with, they submitted information about what they were doing, they were much more overseen. And then there was a group that was given everything and then they did it themselves. And obviously the structure did a little bit better, but honestly it wasn't all that much different. And because these are new, sorry. I really wish I would have remembered, but I don't want to mess this up. I think it says it. So exercise that includes 30 to 35 minutes of aerobic exercise, like jogging or dancing, that your heart is pumping 4 times a week. And then strength and resistance as well. Stretching and balance, add that in. Does that make sense? So that is what they're saying, that was the most impactful for exercise. Blood pressure, blood sugar, and weight regularly checked That seems pretty much like a no-brainer. And then they specifically mentioned the mind diet. I'm not as familiar with that. I was more familiar with the Mediterranean diet. We do still talk about that, but look up the mind diet. That's supposed to be the one. But it's, you know, dark leafy greens, berries, nuts, whole grains, all the stuff you already know, right? And then, goodness, cognitive exercise, which I always love to talk about Fit and Fall because I know they do that. So it's, you know, thinking about stuff, using different arms. Anybody ever tried to brush your teeth with the opposite hand?
Tonight.
Do it. Yes, take a different route wherever you're going. You know, if you go the same way to work or over here to the senior center every week or whatever you come, go a different way. I know there's not a ton of ways to go, but maybe just go on a walk around somewhere else. This is our recipe for good brain health, and we are seeing some big results there. And I did want to say, happy.
Can you give an example of computer-based brain training?
That's the computer-based.
Well, I'm doing language classes, and there's also a program called Elevate,
Oh, yes.
which puts you through all different exercises every day that are verbal and mathematic and logic and
Just don't do it before bed.
don't do it before bed, and you don't do it if you're feeling frustrated about it.
Good to know. I think I used the Elevate app. Yeah.
Pretty good.
There's lots of them. Does anybody else have any that they use?
I tried Korean, that was really hard.
Oh, yeah, learning a language is really good and usable. Oh, yeah, very good, yeah.
The
Okay.
AARP website has all kinds of brain health tips and exercises, and it's great. It's great. Budget neutral.
I love it. Thank you. So I think between what all of you learned a few months ago from brain health, that's now really been backed up again by this U.S. Pointer study. It's good. We already knew it was good. There isn't much up here that we go, oh, really? Wow. No, I'm pretty sure we all need to be doing most of this stuff. I think the difference is, are we getting that sleep? Are we challenging our minds? And we are aging longer these days, so we gotta keep those brains going. It's very exciting. Just know this is just our first dip across this study. There is people that donated, they have blood samples from these participants. There's gonna be a ton more data coming. So if you're interested in it, you can go to our website at alc.org and look at the top and it says research. Yes?
Are we gonna talk about the talk that I hear about them developing a blood test for Alzheimer's?
Yes, thank you for bringing it up. I missed it, so I appreciate that. Yes. The FDA, has it been approved? It's either right there or it just happened.
Anything that you can.
There is a blood test. It will be part of the diagnostics. So it used to be, we'll jump back, used to be you didn't really know you had Alzheimer's until your brain was autopsy.
Right.
Now, you might go in for a mini-cog or mini-cognitive test. Medicare requires that now. Does anybody have one of those done?
No, what is it?
A mini-cognitive? Say it right? Any- Jump in if I'm saying it wrong. It's a family, general practitioner can do it. It's just a quick, who's had one done that wants to explain it?
Are you talking about where you?
Draw the clock, draw the clock.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep, that one. That's your,
It's not a memory test, that's probably what they it is a memory test. It's a screen.
Yeah, okay.
And it evaluates about 8 different domains in your brain. So you know if you're doing well in certain areas or if there's some things that you maybe could
Work on.
focus on enhancing. It's not an eval. What?
Church, red, daisy.
very good. So, thank you for explaining that. And then if there's some things happening that they need to look at that a little bit further, then we go
We get one spot.
Are there any neurologists here? No.
I think
There's
one
visiting.
that goes to the hospital.
Is there a visiting one?
Yeah,
Where
he
do they
flies
come
in,
from?
he flies in.
He flies in.
Oh,
No, sorry.
no.
Comes from Idaho Falls.
I don't know that. At one time, it was one from Idaho Falls.
Okay.
I do know that.
In the state of Idaho, the last number I had was 8. In the state of Idaho, 8. So that might, I just heard 3 to 6 months wait. So it's tough, and we know this. I wish I had a better answer for all of you. That's kind of where we are. Hopefully that gets better. It does, you asked me, it goes a bit further. Now we're looking at some blood tests. Blood test now plays a part in that diagnostic.
Okay, is there imaging too?
Yes, PET scans. Do you guys know where the closest PET scan is? She's nodding her head. You get a prize if you know. Is it Jackson for you guys? Do they have one there? They do in Jackson.
I think
And
it's a normal one.
Pocatello. Yeah.
Not, I hope I'll have.
Nope. So, how easy is it to get a PET scan? Very easy. What it's gonna be is, it is now, and more so, the blood test is just going to be helping make that diagnosis. And that's good, because we can all get a blood test. It'd be great if it said definitely, but that's not where we are right now. However, I think it's exciting because we already get blood tests for diabetes and blood pressure and all those things, or not blood pressure, cholesterol. All those things already, how great would it be if a blood test just told you? And you see it before you even see symptoms. That's what we're talking about.
Is that covered standard by Medicare, or? do you have
Medicare
to
makes
have
you do
symptoms?
the mini cog. I foresee in the future, and I might be wishful thinking here, but I foresee that being more across health systems, the way that they look at this, so I think it'll get better. Stay tuned. I know it's not right now, but it is way more than I used to be able to talk about.
The concern about what you call the mini cog is actually a roll fast. It's the Montreal cognitive assessment score. And depending on the day, you can get different scores. So if you're under the weather, or if you're having a good day, great day, but again, it's not a test, and it's curious to me that that's all they require for a PET scan.
I don't think that is all they require.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's just okay, now, there might be something
Move
happening,
ahead, okay.
let's move ahead.
Okay.
That's all that does, doesn't send you a PET scan,
Yeah.
because those are so expensive.
It's neurocog testing and those
Yes,
things.
there's more that happens,
Okay.
but
Got it.
eventually, that's where you would start at your general family practice.
Right on, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Which is good, because it didn't used to happen at all. I want to have that, I wanna know what's my baseline, what am I looking at?
Exactly.
How do you get, what do you ask for to get some kind of baseline?
Just ask for how are you saying it?
What
The
they
mini
use is a
cog, yeah, your
MOCA,
GP.
the Montreal Cognitive Assessment Tool. And again, screening part, just ask your doctor if they have a screening tool for brain change.
Yep,
And would it be more than the mini cog?
but
It would be the mini.
It's the same.
Well, I think we're talking about the same tool.
We are talking about the same.
I've taken it, I don't think it's much of a diagnostic if you're
It is
at a place where.
No, it's
you're
not, but it
changing a
is
lot.
the only thing that they start you off with, that's what they
Okay.
start you with.
Okay.
Right.
Teton Physical Therapy in Jackson has a specialist in it, and he does the testing and Medicare pays for it, and, I think his name is Eric Smithwick. He's a physical therapist.
Chris.
Oh, that's Chris, that's in Jackson.
Speech and language pathologist. Yeah.
Chris Smithwick, so he's a speech pathologist and he works out of Jackson. But we also have the, occupational and speech therapists here, Teton Valley Health in the hospital, who can also administer the test. So.
Great, that's good information, thank you for sharing, because I don't know all of that, obviously. Okay, so you leave here and you say, Jody said something funky and I'm not sure it was right, I wanna double check the work. That's fine, maybe you don't mention my name, just kidding, you can say my name. We have a 24/7 helpline. It is a helpline, not a hotline. You can call it for anything. You could call it for wanting look like. You wanna know more about vascular dementia, they'll tell you about that. Somebody mans it 24/7, 365. You can also call it if you're caregiving and you're at the end of your rope at 2 o'clock in the morning. They will help you. They will talk you through it. They will give you some ideas. It's amazing. It is our best service, especially for my rural communities. If I have nothing else to give you tonight, that number right there is the one. Please, please know that we are here all the time. Obviously, free education and support. I talked about trial match. What do I have? Do you want to jump in now? I could, maybe. I got a little bit more, and then you can chat. Okay. My All's Journey is a brand new app. So for those that are tech savvy, okay, and don't mind using an app, this is support, guidance, and connection for newly diagnosed people and their caregivers. This was built out and vetted by our early stage advisory group at our national level. So it's not just a bunch of people that threw this together and said, good luck. It's actually people who have Alzheimer's that in the early stages helped put this app together. I've been in it, it's pretty decent. I'm sure it will continue to get better. Please know it's just another tool that can be used. All kinds of information in there. If you want more, I can tell you. Okay, local, quotation marks, Idaho Falls. I think we have a counterpart in Jackson, and so she would know what they have going on there. If you call and give your zip code, if you call the number or you look up on our community resource finder, you can give them your zip code and make sure you tell them, please make your search go into Wyoming. And they'll tell you any education that's coming out from us. In Idaho Falls, I usually run a series called The Empowered Caregiver every spring and fall, so I'm doing stuff there pretty frequently. There is a caregiver support group in Idaho Falls with ECAP. That's every other Friday. And then there's online support groups specific to whether, maybe you're an adult child taking care of your mother, or, just different little pockets of support groups that are online across the nation. So lots of, how's the internet service? In Ryrie, it's a little hit miss when the weather's not good. So is it like that here too? It's good. And how many of you would be interested in a support group of some type up here? Do you think that's a need in the area?
Did anyone hear her question?
Is there a need for a caregiver support group or some type of support group in this area, do you think?
I think there is.
Have you seen that to be the case?
Yeah. The mental health coalition would up to speed on.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to maybe do a little bit more here. I'm just down the road. Obviously, I talked about the walked into Alzheimer's. This is another. And then here's some things you can get into if you're interested. Please share that we exist. But before I finish up, please feel free and share. We have an ECAP, and you were here in February? Is that right? Okay, go for it. Yeah, oh, every time. You look at you.
Yeah, so I'm Tyrell Arnold. I'm from the Eastern Idaho Area Agency on Aging. I've been at a few of these. If you don't remember me, you may want to go get checked out. So she already shared, so we do have a support group. Unfortunately, right now this was only in Idaho Falls. But we are working on a virtual group that meets a couple times a month. We're just working on getting another staff member trained for that. But we do offer, quite a bit of support. We have information assistance staff Monday through Friday. If you have anything that you're wondering about, just like the Alzheimer's Association, we can connect you with other resources. We also do provide funding for respite services, which I know can be very, very beneficial for our caregivers is it is limited funding, but we have funding where we will help pay, for, in this area, we do contracts with health agencies. We're quite limited in this area, but we do have what's called consumer direct. And so you can hire a family member, a neighbor, a friend to help take care of your loved one while you get a break. You need to go for a couple hours to go get groceries or go for a walk or just have a time off, and we can help provide some funding for that. It isn't a lot, but it is something. And so that's kind of that's useful. Also, we have homemaker services, and so again, that's to contract with somebody to come in, provide some housekeeping, cooking, just things like that. So useful services as well. I have some cards or business pamphlets I'll leave, and I know the senior center has our contact information too. But we just want to be, another resource for helping, as people navigate some of these things. Often you're not even aware until you're in the midst of it. And so, just to have that awareness that there are resources in the area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because we do stuff, but not everything, and I see I am way over my time, so I am gonna stop.
Thank you, yeah,
thank
thank you,
you.
Jody. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. This is a really important topic for all of us. And I encourage you, before you leave, if you haven't signed in, we are asking everyone to sign in on Jody's clipboard, your first name, your last name, and your zip code, because this information is data so that the association can know that we exist here in Teton Valley. So perhaps maybe down the line, we have more funding for this situation where we have our loved ones and our family members in a dementia or Alzheimer situation. So please fill out that before you leave so we can have that information for Jody's purposes. And I really appreciate you all coming. If you have any questions about Tyrell services with the Eastern Idaho Community Action Partnership, we are in tight relationship with them. We can give you information, and as well as Jody coming back perhaps next year with some more information for us as this research drops and gives us more hope for what's coming down the line. And I'll be up with Jody to get all of her information if you need it. Please see me here Monday through Friday at the Senior Center, and please tell your neighbors and loved ones who aren't here about all of this. We will be putting this up on the website. Cole Schroeder, our volunteer, has filmed this tonight, and we'll get that out so you can share it with friends. Yes?
And then Jody brought all this information